Hello everybody, welcome to Angel's Artography-Crafts and Digital Design channel. Thank you for joining. Today I'm going to be making my very first pyramid. So I got this mold off of Amazon. So here's the case that holds the silicone triangles, and you put them in upside down, so your projects are going to be upside down as you pour them. So just be mindful, this will be the top, this will be the bottom. It came with two different sizes. However, it says one's smaller, one's larger. I cannot tell the difference. I even measured it with my ruler, and it's like maybe 1/4 of an inch off. So I really don't think it matters which one I use at this point. So I wanted to use the largest one, but I can't tell. Honestly, I put them together like this, and maybe they just gave me two of the same size. If I'm measuring it right, it's only like 1/4 inch off. So I'm going to start out with just putting one in there. So it's a nice little box. I've seen other people done these, and they've had like a wood box, but I think this is more secure because the wood box you have to put together. So what my plan is I've mixed up some black mica paste and some resin. I'm using the craft resin. I've got two little wolves, so they're going to be at the bottom like that. I purchased some trees from Hobby Lobby, and I purchased some moss from Hobby Lobby. I am on the other side of my table, so forgive me. I've got a lot going on. I'm getting ready for the Farmville Dogwood Festival coming up in a couple weeks. So hopefully you can see this. And my intention is to put the top, and I'm going to have black sky with some stars. So I do have some of these Recollections specialty polyester glitter, and this is called Bling Strass. I get these from Michael's, so that's where I get most of my glitters. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this for a minute. I'm going to pour a lot because I want it to be not as dark. I'm going to put these little wolves away for later. And I have another idea I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put a moon in there. And I'm kind of hesitant on which way to do it. I was thinking about this little styrofoam ball, but I don't know if the heat from the resin is just going to melt it. So I was thinking about making some out of some modeling clay, which I do have some modeling clay. So I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to do a little research before the next video because I want to put the moon in next. So I'm not going to put the moon in now. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this up. So I get back to my other projects. I'm working on some sugar skulls. I finally got some really large ones in. I do have some videos on my See No Evil, Hear No Evil skulls and Speak No Evil skulls that I've done. But these are just regular huge skulls. They're actually right here. I'm going to be putting some flags in them. They are very big. So I'm trying to work on letting the resin get the bubbles out while I'm doing this video. So I'm kind of multitasking right now. So apologize if I'm speaking a little bit fast. But the longer you let the resin sit at the bottom, I did put some ammo casings at the bottom of those. I'm going to do an American flag and a police flag. So I'm just going to put this in the bottom. That's going to be kind of like the sky. It's going to be really dark at first. And then I'm going to lighten it up and put in the, make maybe like a midnight blue, and then put the moon in there. I'm thinking about maybe painting the styrofoam ball. But I don't know if I do that, if I paint it gray, if it's going to lose its effect where you can see through it. So let me clean this up right here. So that's all I'm going to do for this portion of the video. So I cannot wait to start on the rest of it. So this is going to be a long process. It's going to be about 5 videos in with all the layering I'm going to have to do. my intention when to put the trees and everything in, I'm just going to take modeling clay, make it this size. I'll just measure it with the other one and just kind of guesstimate, like down here, how big I need to make it. Just make a line on my paper, and then that's going to go upside down inside, and then at the bottom, and it'll make it look like some rocks. And what I'll do is stick these upside down in the modeling clay, and the trees and the moss. We'll put some moss on top of the modeling clay. Maybe put a couple of rocks. I don't know. We'll see. I have never done this before, and I've never done anything of this intense before, with little figures and moss and trees, and this will be a first for me. So let's pray it works out. I'm super excited because I do think that it might look really beautiful. I just hope it works. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at our next step. Hello everybody, we are back for part 2 of the pyramid. So I've already mixed some resin, just a little bit in this cup, and I found some alcohol inks. So I'm using, it's called Sig Wong, is a name brand, Sapphire Blue alcohol ink. I don't know exactly where I got this. I think I got it on Amazon. It's been a while I've had it. And I'm going to just put a little bit in there because I want to be able to see the moon. So what I'm going to do is suspend the moon. So it's going to be kind of laying here. I'm going to only fill the moon halfway. So I got this Stretch Magic 1mm stretchy, resistant, flexible, what is it? Bead jewelry cord. Anyways, so I took one of these I've got from the Food Lion. So what I did already is I just put a hole through here, and I put some of the stretch wand in here and put a little knot. I'm sorry for the background, it's my air purifier. It's starting to calm down a little bit. I had sprayed some alcohol into another project, my skulls that I was working on, because I just finished making a batch of resin for that. So when I do alcohol, it gets it starts working really hard. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take one of these and just kind of figure out where I want to hang it. I'm trying to hang it a little bit lower because, you know, remember I'm going to add the 2 wolves. So I'm just going to, and I don't want to cover it all the way, because I want to be able to clip this top off, if you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to suspend it. So let me cut a piece off. Let me see how far I want it. I kind of want it a little bit low as I can go. So about right there. And I am working from the other side. I'm not sitting down, so it's kind of been a little bit difficult on the side of the table. I need a huge table so I can work on multi-projects at once. I'm kind of doing too much. That's my own fault. So let's see. It's a little bit too low. That's right in the black. So let me pull it up a little bit more. What's good about the stretchy band, you can't really get it into a knot per se. So I can keep working with it. So I'm trying to decide if I want it. I don't really know if I want it right in the middle. I think the moon, well, it might be all right. I also did one more thing before I got on camera, is I took the other pyramid and traced a line on this parchment paper, because I'm going to go ahead and make my square to put everything in. I'm probably going to build up a little, maybe put some rocks on there and stuff like that, but I won't put everything on there until we're on camera. So the resin is pretty much clear. It's got a few bubbles left in it. I did put it just for a few minutes on the in the bubble machine, which really helps. Just put one little drop to see what we got. I don't want this dark because I do not want you to not be able to see the little moon. So just one drop for now, lighter as I go, so we can see the wolves. So the next pour I'm gonna do even lighter, almost clear. So it's still maybe one more drop. That's all I'm gonna do, one more drop. I don't want it to get too dark. There we go, that's it. Let me try switching this around to the other side. I'm gonna actually get a new one and get this side so I can scrape the sides. That's what I like about these. They have like a scraper on one side and a poker on the other. So if you have bubbles, you can use these to pop your bubbles, which I just did in my skull mold. I just happened to see them at the Food Line. I wasn't even trying to look for them. I'm like, hey, that looks like a cool craft supply. So we're going to pour this in here on one side. Okay, now I'm going to take something to hold this because it looks like it's moving. There we go. So it's just going to touch the bottom. Perfect. And I pray the styrofoam does not melt. I don't know, it might. The luck I'm having lately, it just might. So it seems to be moving around a little bit. I don't think I've got this tight enough, but that's alright. Maybe I'll push it down just a little bit. Alright, so that's all we're going to do. I am going to, off camera, like I said, I'm going to take this DOS molding clay right here and make a platform. I've already put some moss in here because it was such a big bag. I put some in a cup, and so that will be the next step. My little moon. Actually, I forgot I can move it with this. I don't know what I'm thinking. I could just move this around. Maybe it wasn't centered. I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm going to spray one little spray of alcohol. Or say 3. Look at them bubbles pop. Pretty. Get you a better look here. Oh, there goes my, see, alcohol does that. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So that is my purifier. That's what happens when I put spray alcohol. Alright, we'll see you a little bit later when I add. Alright, I'm here in my living room. I have rolled up the ball of clay, and then here's a roller, and I'm just going to roll it flat, and then I'm going to take this and put it on top and kind of gauge around to see how big I need it, because I want it to cover the other one that's upside down. So I need it that big, because this is about the same size as the other one. So I'll make it just a little bit bigger than this. I'm just going to make it flat and then cut a square with a knife. So that's all I'm going to do right now, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, so I decided to try to make this work in my art studio, so I'm kind of on the opposite end of my table, but we're going to try to make it work. So went ahead, like I said, and flattened out my clay, and I put the triangle on top, and I'm going to cut a big area around it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see, because it's going to be the base. I'm just winging this. I have not done this before. I don't know if it's going to work. I pray it works. The top of the pyramid's looking very well. I put it to the side, but this is what it looks like right now. So that's secured. If you can see that, let me see. Kind of hard to tell right now. So I can actually go ahead and take the stick off and cut it, but I'll do that a little bit later. Let's keep on working on the clay. All right, so this is my intention. My planning here is to take, yeah, actually I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Take that back. So I'm going to cut this off at the ball area. So that is not moving. That's the moon. So that's looking pretty. And I'm just going to lighten it up the blue as I pour the rest of it. So let me see if this base is going to work. Okay, so it will work. However, I don't think it's going to, I think it's going to fall in there. So I have another plan, and that's to use a piece of canvas. Let me see what I got. This would be perfect. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Craft squares. It's 8 by 10. So that will fit on top of there. So that is what I'm going to do. So now I got to figure out how much I want to cut and how to cut it. I don't know if regular scissors are going to work. So this is very thin canvas. Very, very thin. That's why you get it at the Dollar Tree. So what I'll do is go ahead and just kind of measure this. Let's see. Let me do this. Put this on top. And then just kind of draw around it. Actually, I'll put it to the edge in the corner. So I only have to cut two areas. But I'm going to leave a little bit, actually, I'm going to leave a little bit here and a little bit there. Because I want it to go over the sides. So let me get a ruler. Alright, so I'm just going to go like this. I want there to be an overhang. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. Alright. Alright, so let's cut this. Hope the scissors will work. So we shouldn't need this anymore. Actually, I don't want to make a mess. Let me go to my garbage can and cut over it. I'll be right back. So it fits. It was a little tough to cut with scissors, but it looks like it fits. Alright. So what we're going to do is throw this right on top of here. I'm just going to wrap the clay around it and give it more stability. First, we're going to put some moss on there. So moss is not going to stick to it, so I went ahead and got some Mod Podge. And I'm going to paint on some Mod Podge onto the clay. And so we're going to let this dry overnight after we get all the moss on there. I'm just going to kind of just put it wherever, just flatten it down, pop it wherever. Maybe throw some rocks in there. I hope I have some mini rocks. I don't have some big rocks. I'm trying to stay away from the edges because this whole thing is not going to go inside. Because the moon is in the middle, we're going to have to put a little guy here on the side. So he's going to have to be way up there. But he has to be this way. And then I'm going to put the other one over here. And then we're going to put some trees in here. Probably cut like right here. Take off most of that. And I do have some pruning shears. So let's try this. And I'm going to cut that kind of in the middle of the tree. So we're just making little trees. So that has to be in the corner. I'm not going to try to do too much more with this. I may put some rocks. Alright, so I got some rocks. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour all over there. I know it doesn't look right now. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Because this is going to have to get hard. This is going to have to be able to lay upside down. I know it's a mess. It's alright. So that's what we got so far. Let me dim the light a little bit. There, can you see it better? Hope so. Alright, so we're going to let that dry for a few days and then we will get back and try to finish up this pyramid. Hello, we are back and I can't wait to finish this project. I am on the other side of the table, so I feel much more comfortable now. I spent the entire day yesterday cleaning my studio. I have been working on so much stuff for the Dogwood Festival. I had too many projects going on at once, so this one took a back seat. And plus, I decided to do something else with the canvas. So what I had done off camera, just to save some time, is when I picked up this off of the canvas, I noticed that it was still wobbly with the Mod Podge. So what I did is use this little tray here. That's one of those trays that with the handles molds. And I took the canvas off and I put this on here like this. The clay was a little bit soft, so I poured a bunch of resin on top, and then when I flipped it over, I found out that it was it was still soft at the bottom, so I poured some more resin and flipped it over. And since then I have cleaned up this and I cut around the edges, so this now should fit in here like this. And so this is, see how pretty it is? should fit just straight here upside down. So I've already mixed my resin. I got quite a bit of resin. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys upside down. So we want to make sure everything is not covering the moon. And this is not going to sit all the way in there, so I may have to cut this little piece off right there, looks like. Last time I used pruning shears, and that seemed to work. Let me get some of those. Alright, so I'm going to take this over to my garbage can and just trim off the... So I just want this to be able to lay just upside down. Get this moss out of here. And let's see. So what I noticed I should have done, honestly, is put the moon at the tip. So if you look like this is what it's going to look like. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the moon. It's hard to tell. You'll be able to, actually, you'll be able to see it pretty good. And I'm not going to put a lot of blue in there. So we are going to go ahead and add some pigment. So what I need to do is pour some in a separate cup. Got this huge silicone full of resin. I poured, it looks like 28 ounces or 800 milliliters. So I need to go ahead and pour that before it gets too hot. So what I'm going to do is just get one of these 9-ounce cups and pour enough into there where I think I'm going to need. And I am only going to add a drop of this sapphire blue alcohol ink. I don't know if I showed you this last time up close, but this is the Sig Wong Sapphire Blue. Remember last time I did a couple drops? I am literally going to do one drop. I'm just going to do one drop. There we go. I want to be able to see the moon, and if it's too dark, I won't be able to do that. So just a little bit of color. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to get a stir stick. And we are going to do the rest of this. There is quite a bit of bubbles in here. Let me put it in the bubble machine. I'm not liking how much bubbles is left. There's quite a bit of bubbles because I didn't let it sit long enough. So we're going to put it in the bubble machine and I'll get back to you. Alright, I put it in the bubble remover for about 6 minutes. And I've let it sit for about 3 minutes. So it's a lot less bubbles. So we are going to go ahead and pour it just in the side. I've already put my piece upside down where I want it. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit where I want it. I push it down just a tad bit because I want to leave room. So here's the top. I've got just about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch to put something down on top, maybe some sand. We'll see. I may just put the resin on top and let it be that. I think that's what I'll do, just put resin on top after this cures a little bit. So I'll meet you next time when we'll do the last step. All right, we are back, and it's been about an hour. That's all I gave it. And I've already mixed up my epoxy, and I've already let it sit, so it's pretty clear. I am going to put 1 drop of the sapphire blue. Oops, actually it looks like about 4. It'll be all right. This is a large cup. All right, so let's mix this up. I hope this is enough because I really want to get this done. If not, we're going to have to pour some more resin. If you pour too fast, sometimes bubbles will develop and then you'll have an overflowage. I've done that several times. And you want to make sure you do not get it on this plastic outside piece. So I'm going to go across now. The bottom. Oh, this might be enough. Okay, look at that. All right, let it sit for a second. Let it fill. Oh my goodness. It is looking good. Tap the sides just to get some of the bubbles to release. I'm getting as domed up as I can get it because it does shrink. I don't want all them rough edges. Let it sit for a second. This is just going to be enough resin. Go ahead and spray a little bit of alcohol. Ooh, that's going to be crystal clear, I hope. I hope. I do not think I'm going to pour any more because I do not want it running off on the sides and inside of here because that would be hard to clean. So I'm going to pray for the best. And hopefully this is covered. It appears to be actually. That appears to be really covered. All right, that's great. That's great. So what I'm going to do is hit these corners and the sides. Make sure they get in the crevices. I cannot wait to demold this. I'm probably going to wait a day to do this. There is a lot of resin in there. It's a good 4 or 5 inches of resin that we poured tonight. So we're going to let that cure for about at least 24 hours before we demold it. All right. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next time for the demold. All right, everybody, we are back and I'm super excited to demold this pyramid. So it's been a little over 24 hours. It's probably around 30 some hours since I've poured this. It feels pretty solid. So let's get started. So I think the easiest way to do this would be just to flip it upside down. So we're going to flip it upside down. And shake it, I guess. Seems like I should be able to just pull. There we go. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. So the silicone is still on it. So what we got so far. So let's move the silicone. Oh my gosh, this is my first pyramid. Oh, it's actually pretty easy to demold. For some reason though, it has this little thing on here. So I've got a little hook on here. I'm not sure why, but it's got a little hook here. I don't know if maybe I wasn't supposed to cover that, but I did. So we'll have to clip that off. But look at we got. Oh, there's my wolf on this side with the moon. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So hard to show you. And there's the other one. His back is turned. So a little baby wolf is right there. And there's the moon. There's the trees. And this looks kind of like some mud at the bottom. That's actually really cool. Not too bad. It's heavy. It is quite heavy. It's really cool. It's like a 3D. I wish I could show you better. Let me see. I'm going to try something here. So I got these cool little lights that I was going to put under my stuff for the Dogwood Festival. And I've got it hooked up to my little Jackery box. And it's just a USB port. And I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to put the pyramid on top. Ooh. That's pretty cool. Now I'm going to go turn off the lights. Alright, so I'm going to move my camera. Let's see. It's going to be kind of hard to get the shot I'm trying to aim for. So it's not as bright as I'd like it with the light. Let me tilt it sideways. So what do you think? Not too bad. Could be a little bit brighter, and I think that's just because of the clay at the bottom. So if I would have left that clear, I would have really been able to see it. So for my first attempt, it's not too bad. I mean, I have a lot of things I could have done differently. The moon should have been up at the top, but it's pretty cool. Not bad for my first attempt. So I'm going to clean up these edges with the deburring tool, and then just leave it at that. Let me turn the light back on. Alrighty. That is pretty cool. Let me slide it here. Maybe we can try to look at it from another angle here. Oh my goodness. It's actually... Let me take my phone off here. Let's see if we can see. I need one of those spinners. Actually, I have one somewhere. Stand by for a second. Alright, check that out. Now this will be cool. Do a little fish theme or beach theme. Anyways, so that was my first pyramid. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I didn't know it's going to be long for the fact that the pyramid you have to do in several layers. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to find me at the Dogwood Festival in Farmville. Just in a few days.